Alright guys, such Cammy again. I hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. The reaction continues to Black Ops 7, especially on the movement side, on what it means for the upcoming year of competitive play. Shotzzy and Huke talking an awful lot about the wall bounce, how powerful it seems to be in the current iteration, but also another movement mechanic that many have used to great effect so far. Will this be the new meta? Will Traixx make any changes over time? Which players are going to abuse this the best? Very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I'd greatly appreciate it. Plenty to get into. Wanted to start here really because I think the voting for the Esports Awards is now pretty much closed, so they will do their announcements or whatever in due course. There was some debate on Controller Player of the Year because there were some other candidates here, but it was a big Call of Duty season, and from a comp perspective it's looking like this. Now of course Mercules also up for nomination for kind of Controller Rookie of the Year. He's probably in a pretty decent position to try and take that one down. But they've got some nominations as well here for Player of the Year, and Mercules is also up for this. So, you know, who should win this? It's actually kind of an interesting question. Scrap won Season MVP. He won our Breaking Point Season MVP as well. I think over the course of the entire season, he was probably the best player, but also Mercules wasn't there for the entire season. The stint that he had was better than Scrap's time during the same stint. So this is a little bit interesting. If they give Mercules Rookie Controller of the Year, it would be pretty remarkable if he also won Controller Player of the Year. I think not impossible. I forget exactly if Kenny won that back in 2018, because I think he definitely won Controller Rookie of the Year in 2018, Kenny, after his World War II season for Esports Awards. So, yeah, don't know if it's particularly common that anyone wins both, but if anyone can do it, it might be the Legacy Saver or the Anti-Cheat or whatever. We'll discuss a bit more of that in due course. We also asked some of the pro players over the last few days their rankings on average for each Black Ops game. Now, of course, Black Ops 7, Attach put a ranking in for this. It's the best COD of all time, but just, you know, round the rest of the list here, really. I think some pretty common assessments. Black Ops 3, considered the best on average by these pros that we asked this question to. BO2, BO4, then Cold War. Black Ops 6 considered pretty much unanimously the worst Black Ops game ever, which is an interesting assessment. I don't think that's necessarily wrong, but it is what it is. I always think Black Ops 1 gets underrated in these lists, to be honest, but, you know, I'd put BO1 at least in the A tier, but I think I'm a bit biased because it was my first ever COD, so the nostalgia for that game and the rose-tinted glasses do hit different, but I do think it was a great game, so I'm not going to back down on my opinion on that. Also, some quick comments, I guess, on Havoc, right? The race has been going on. Havoc and, I think, Attach are kind of swapping and doing their own thing, so they've done a particularly good job so far. That will continue, as we know, over the coming days to try and get to Master Prestige. And Formal and Dashy are like, oh my god, he's actually back for the new title. Here we go again. And Dashy decided to hop on the new game as well. So he had a few thoughts early doors. Of course, we discussed earlier today the aim assist changes, which may well help a guy like Dashy in due course. He was also discussing on the map. So I think it's worth talking a little bit about the map so far in Black Ops 7, certainly compared to what we had in Black Ops 6. And look, here we are on Hijacked. Dashy's perspective here is that this map is a bit overrated. It's literally just nostalgia. My hot take is actually, I totally agree with him. I've always thought this about Hijacked. Great pubs map, don't get me wrong, but it's like basically Hijacked is Nuketown, but with an underground pass. Like, that's how I always felt it, and I'd always prefer to play Nuketown. But yeah, I had some great moments on Hijacked for sure. It is a good map, but you know, I don't think it's anything to go crazy. When Hijacked was loading up, I never got like so hyped like some people did. But you know, each to their own. Everyone can have their own opinion. It was a hardpoint map very briefly at the start of Black Ops 2. It was played. Then they removed it from the meta or the rotation because they realized that the underground hill especially was atrocious. There were 2 entrances and people were literally using riot shields and shotguns. So and that was what the Call of Duty was like back then on a competitive level. So that was removed. It was played in pubs, Search and Destroy. It was quite good. There was a bomb site actually kind of just where Dashy was standing here. Like, the one bomb site was just to Dashy's like left. Basically where he's standing, there was a bomb site. And the other bomb site was in the second hard point. So it was okay. Maybe if we're desperate, we could play Hijacked for something. But I don't think it's going to be too relevant in competitive play. But I think what I will say just watching this gameplay is that, wow, it's colourful, right? Like, even Black Ops 2... it wasn't as pretty as this, really. And the way that they've remastered, redesigned some of these maps, the colors, the different themes the maps have, just far more enjoyable to watch and to play than we have had for some time. And I think that is a key differentiating factor, right? Early doors for Black Ops 7. Are the maps going to be as good competitively? The beta ones, there were some in there that were okay, I would say. Now the full release is here. We got to see some other maps as well, right? We talked about some earlier today, but, you know, there's maps like Flagship that have come in. That is pretty small. This, of course, is Hijacked, as we know. Some love, some don't love. This is the Homestead map, which I don't think is going to be played for Hardpoint. It's got all the water around it, but still pretty beautiful. Imprint, of course, we did see in the beta. Obviously, Raid, that needs no explanation at all. Retrieval is another interesting one. It's kind of, well, there's a load of rocks everywhere. It's like another snow map, really. Scar is one that some people were talking about. Initially, this map looked pretty small, but actually having seen Scar played, I think this definitely could be pretty viable. The hardpoints are a little strange, though. I think maybe Search and Destroy will be where this map finds something. The Forge, of course, we saw in the beta as well. Toshin has now got a couple of changes with the way the train works. You can get up into the top building in a way that you previously couldn't, and those are the maps as it stands. There's a few clips I wanted to share about all this going on yesterday. This was a pretty funny one when Scump was trying his best and they were running into some lobbies. Again, some questions on the quality of the skill-based matchmaking, because it definitely appears to be weaker than some other games, but it's not like people were finding lobbies that were absolutely brain dead all of the time. But you can even see it here, right, with Scump in this gunfight with the Drazah. How some of the, okay, Scump can shoot straight, it's Scump, but some of these long-range gunfights, if you use the left stick properly, you do get a decent amount of aim assist. It's some of the close-range fights, which if anything are more challenging, so there's some questions on what that would mean for the mouse and keyboard players as well, and all that type of stuff. But I'll share a couple of thoughts here from some of the players, but also a few clips on the movement, and Shotzzy and Huke's thoughts on that especially.
He's gonna be like, I'm never doing the race again.
You think, what the fuck? Yeah. Yeah, bro. What pistol is that?
I don't know, that shit. That shit look.
Jaeger bombs.
Yo, that shit look kind of crazy.
UAV available for tasking.
Dude, there's no way Gwyn is using a fucking noob tube. Gwyn, get a grip. Get a fucking grip.
Mission timeline expired. UAV exiting the AO.
Oh my god, he's using a noob tube.
Hardpoint active. Hardpoint
He's
locked
actually using a noob tube. Yo, Gwyn might be a freak for that. Yo. Yo. It's a camo challenge? Ah, it's not. The game looks so good. Dude, I said this throughout the entire beta. Dude, this game feels so good. Just the movement speed, everything put together, this game feels silky smooth.
Back.
Damn it.
I'm not gonna lie, I think wall bouncing is OP.
Bro, wall bouncing is fucked. I think it's OP.
What? You can get up there?
You're our last chance. Thanks.
Yo, the other guy was push up A.
We got them.
Oh my.
Damn! That looked fucking insane.
What?
That was vicious, bro.
Yo, what? What
That was
the
fucking
fuck?
Hit the jump slide or the slide jump.
Yo, the slide jump might be meta.
Bro, that looked fucking
The
insane.
slide jump might be meta. What?
Search and destroy.
Oh my god. Wait, Colin, I can see the bomb. Wait, I can see where he's at.
What do you mean?
He's A. I'm not even trying.
Ah.
I don't know. I got some glitch. Bro, I'm not able to fly them.
Yo, that.
I'm flying out the other guy.
So we saw in the beta a number of movement clips, of course. These are some other clips, and I mean, look, you can see here with the sniper exactly what might be going on. Now, look, is the sniper going to be a little bit strong in this game? Quite possibly on some of this evidence, but you can see this kind of like jump strategy seems very effective, right? So, I mean, if I just play this again in slow motion, of course, there's the other clips from Shotzzy we'll discuss in a second. But you can see here how, not even like with the slide jump, but just a pure like forward jump in a second. After he gets this kill, you'll see kind of what happens next, really. So it's around about here when he starts doing these like hops. And like the momentum that he's able to hold is pretty wild, right? Like he's properly flying through the air here. And even without like the jump slides, that's what you're seeing. So, I mean, yeah, it's a pretty nice shots here from Placid. Now, this does require certain movement perks and stuff like that to make this happen. You guys can see what's going on the right-hand side. So, that's worth keeping in mind. Also, CMG have already banned the tactical sprints perk that you can put on. So, you know, I'm hoping that the kind of pros follow suit as well. And they also run a game without tac sprints. I'm looking forward to seeing that in action this year. But yeah, the point is that if you get everything right, you can basically almost just fly around the map here, and it's not going to be easy to deal with. Whether that's going to be so relevant and competitive, interesting question. Here we are though on Den, and we've got Shotzzy popping a little wall bounce. Now, yeah, he gets gunned by Huke in this gunfight, but he still pops a nice little wall bounce off the wall on the right. Now, also the wall bouncing is very interesting because, as we know, on certain maps, it can be used to jump spots, right? I'm pretty sure this is possible on Raid. We talked about it the other day, that P4 hill where the basketball court is. You can use the wall bouncing to peek over onto poolside and get some information. Maybe you could even land a couple of shots. So it is going to be relevant for competitive play the way this is used. Huke's like, damn, you know, the wall bouncing is pretty OP. It's not exactly changed much since the beta. I mean, I'll discuss this clip in a second. I think the other thing that Shotzzy ran into here was this movement mechanic, which is kind of the slide jump, right? We saw this a little bit in, well, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4 especially. It was a movement for some time that, well, this kind of slide jump around the corner was definitely a strategy. Back at BO3, people would do this with the G slide, right? They'd use the movement mechanics and fly around the corner. But yeah, tough to do all that much against this. And it is pretty impressive how fast you move. So look, Shotzzy tries to attack. He tries to go on the offensive here, tries to take the gunfight, and the guy decides that he's going to slide around the corner. And by the time Shotzzy hits a couple of shots, it's going to be difficult to deal with that. So definitely there is going to be a level of, you know, what you might call peeker's advantage in this game. If you're in position to use the movement, you're going to be in a good spot. So as he says, maybe the slide jump is going to be meta. As I say, because it's early days, there are some very interesting glitches also worthy of note. This is one of them here. So they're playing a search and destroy chow, and somehow, you know, he gets through the wall, this escort with the bomb, and he can basically just see where their bomb carrier is, and is like, well, hang on a second, is this okay? So he dives out and just guns the guy because he knew where he was. So yeah, probably not ideal, something that needs to be fixed. We know that for many years there have been search and destroy bomb glitches at the start of games' life cycles, such as when you're, like, in recent years, when the bomb is being defused, you can tell sometimes based on what the logo is doing of the bomb defusal. Don't think that's the case so far in this game, but this is a bit of an issue. You know, World Championship Grand Final, round 11, and you get a free wall hack on the other team. Probably something that needs to be resolved. We'll see if they can make that happen in due course. So very much enjoyed your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care, and I'll see you next time.
Why do I feel like I'm not moving that fast with a sub? Why do I feel like I'm moving faster with the fucking
Hardpoint lockdown.
What?
I'd be in attack.
Hostiles have the
Biolabs on it.
I'm in
Behind mid.
Behind me, behind me, behind me. Yep.